Hi there, my name is Carly Dixon. I am co-owner of the Brightside music and event venue in downtown Dayton. In an effort to make sure that people who don't live locally or who are unable to get in to see our space on our typical Tuesday open house, I thought I would take a few minutes this morning and do a video of the space so that you can sort of do a virtual walkthrough. I'm going to turn the camera around now and I'll start to show you around. So I thought I would start in the back of our parking lot, just so you can get a sense of the amount of, we've got ample free off-street parking. We also have a brand new patio that was added just for 2021. And this patio, as you can see, during the summer season, has a lot of landscaping. So it has become a great amenity, not just for your cocktail hour, but also we've been able to do ceremonies for up to 200 out here. We do have what we call a charming train track that goes by at the back of the property. So as long as you see trains as charming, then the possibility of a potential passing train would be exciting to you, and that's something we want you to keep in mind when you're deciding ceremony space here. We also have this fantastic mural from Tiffany Clark Mural Machine. It's a great place to do photos during the event. We also have plugs for food trucks. So if you wanted to have food trucks, one or several at your event, you can do that without having the noise of a generator. One other thing we'd like to show you here today, our landscaping is seasonal. We've made sure that there's nice growth in our beds at all times of the year. During the summer months it's particularly lush, but this is a great spot right here for photos that don't really look like you got married in the city. So that's just a good option. And now we'll head in. This is the access door right here for getting into our bar space. So now we will walk around so you can see what the landscaping looks like. This is being filmed in late August, so the landscaping does evolve. It doesn't have quite as much lush green in other seasons, but we work really hard to make sure we have evergreens and things that keep it looking nice throughout the year. Now we'll enter, this is sort of the entrance foyer area, and we're entering the Brightside bar. This is sort of the perfect spot for your cocktail hour. It is a 40-foot by 40-foot room and holds around 150 mingling. If you want seats, we have 65 spots for seats. And we provide all of the 6-foot and 8-foot. We've got a nice supply of 6-foot and 8-foot rectangle tables with black linens to support any of your appetizers, food, gifts, and the like. This room does have the bathrooms for the space. They are ADA code meeting accessible, right back in the corner, for women's, for men's. And the bar is something that is the only exclusive thing that has to happen in our space. You can pick any caterer, any vendors that you like. Our goal is that you pick vendors that mean something to you. We do, however, have to be the only source of alcohol because we have a liquor license. Part of the reason that we have the liquor license is because we do music in this space regularly, and this stage is a permanent installation. It is something that is great for, you can do announcements here. It's great for a gift table that can be elevated. It does have a full sound system, so you can have a band or performers. And it's also a great impromptu space for a photo booth. All right, now we will head into the main ballroom. And as you approach the ballroom, here on the right is, normally behind curtains, is where you find our large catering room. This is sufficient for it's perfect for catering more of a buffet style for up to 230. If you're doing a plated meal, as you can see, typically plating requires more space than this. and your caterer will let you know, but they might need to coordinate an additional space for the actual plating of your meal. Here is our ballroom. It is original 1890s construction. All the beams and brick were covered in coal soot and dust and debris when we purchased the property. All of the lighting that you see turned on in the space right now is included in your rental. We also include, because we are a concert venue, you'll see the hanging line arrays. There's also, not visible, an entire bank of sub speakers under the stage, and you have access. All use of this entire concert quality sound system is included in your rental. Most DJs tend to come and just plug in, which is super simple for them, and makes them sound great. You can hear announcements from this stage all the way to the back of the room. If you're planning to have a band, this is a great facility because we are set up to host bands. We do, however, have additional expenses associated with hosting a band. You don't want to hire a band to play and then not give them professional sound engineering and mixing, and that does incur an additional fee of usually somewhere between $500 and $800. So that's something to keep in mind. The stage is often used for, if you're not having a band, for a head table, or you can put a photo booth up here. This is kind of a cool view from up here, so you can see what it would be like if you had your head table up here. Your dance floor is right here in front of you. You might notice there are blue glowing lights coming out of our HVAC system. That is UV filters that we installed at the beginning of COVID. Same UV lights that doctors were using to zap the COVID out of their masks and things like that. So we have those UV filters installed in all of the HVAC systems throughout the entire building. Here you'll see you've got a cool roll-up door that does give accessibility to the patio space outside, and again, it is a way that is handicap accessible for guests to make it out. All of our rentals include our inventory, which is 25 of these 5-foot round tables, 230 of our industrial wood chair, and then as long as you book within 2 weeks of touring the space, we also include the setup of all of these tables and chairs. The one thing that's not included is the linen for this guest table. That is because if we included it, everyone would use it and all the weddings would look the same, and we really love that this chalk wall changes with every wedding, the linens change with every wedding, and then usually there is a unique caterer oftentimes. So each wedding feels very, very different and very reflective of the couple that's getting married here. Next, we will go ahead and head through just to kind of show you. You also have access to the patio from the ballroom. So this is what makes it great to be just a cocktail hour space. And now we'll head upstairs. So our second floor space is what we kind of consider our COVID silver lining. We didn't have this space when we opened. It does not currently have elevator access. We do have a construction scissor lift, which we'll do a separate video on the lift. The lift does require taking 4 steps, sort of similar to the ones that you see here, to get up to the platform of the lift. So we definitely urge people to keep that in mind. We have hired architects to help us determine if there's feasibility to get an elevator in the building, and we're pushing very hard on that, and we will do an update as soon as we get anything conclusive. But for now, this is the step system to get to the second floor. We've worked hard to make sure that it has these cool artistic elements inside the stairwell, so that as you get to each landing, it's a nice place to take a break, take some selfies, and get your guests up to the second floor. Here we are on the second floor. This is our loft space. You'll note it's very similar to the room downstairs, only all white. So it has the light, bright feeling for the ceremony. And then we get a little bit more moody when it comes to the reception time. You've probably seen that we've got a few of these curtains hanging in the space. So these curtains are available for additional rent. Those are not included in your rental, but you can inquire about those. We have another chalk wall up here that you can customize. Behind these curtains, we close these curtains during the ceremony, but beforehand, this is your hair and makeup suite. And it's all portable, so you can get yourselves in front of the natural light if your hair and makeup specialists need that. And there's access to power at each of those windows. This ceremony space includes use of 175 white chairs, or we have about 80 mismatched chairs as well. We do not include ceremony setup in our rentals because oftentimes people have varying plans for their ceremony. So that is the one part that's not included. You have a little oasis deck that you can access through the course of your day with us. It's just kind of a fun other spot, great place to get pictures, take a break before, during, or after the ceremony. And this is a nice spot if you have guests that arrive early, a little bit of a lounge space while they wait for the ceremony to begin. All right, so behind these barn doors, these are great doors through which you can enter when the ceremony begins. This is a great spot to come out of. In the meantime, there's all sorts of wonderful support that is in the space behind these doors. So this area right here, this whole hallway is accessible to your guests during the ceremony and beforehand. So they have access to a water station and also the 2 bathrooms that are down this hallway. Up until the guests arrive, this is sort of a secondary lounge area for the groom suite. And the rest of the groom suite is here. It does include plenty of seating. You've got a little refrigerator. We don't allow any outside alcohol of any kind in the space. So if you do want some cocktails during the day, we're happy to bring some of those up and have them in this fridge for you. And you're welcome to put any of your own non-alcoholic food in that refrigerator. The guys' space extends all the way to these curtains. And these can actually be closed so that we keep the guys and the gals separate. It closes better than that, but I'm holding a phone, so what can you do? Here is the bathroom for the guys. And they do, in fact, also have a shower in this space. Not that they'd need it, but if they do, it's here. And we do have washer dryer in the space as well. So now we'll pass through the curtains. Here we come to the bridal suite. So this is the space where the gals typically get ready. It's got plenty of room to hang things. Behind this curtain is a trash can. Same thing, we can bring champagne or some beers up. And then this is the pass-through to get back over to hair and makeup. So it's a nice pass-through straight from the bridal suite to get over to the hair and makeup area. Everything has been designed so that you have a nice backdrop for photos, even while you're doing things that are just part of what you need to do in the day, just while you're getting ready, getting hair and makeup done. Our hope is that you end up looking at that picture and saying, oh, I love that picture, and I love that picture, and I love that picture, because it really is fun to get a gallery back where every picture has sort of a nice aesthetic. We then have a second bathroom. This is the women's bathroom. So we've got plenty of room to, it's space that you can change. Any guests that have any sort of small cart or something, if that cart has been able to be carried up the stairs, they have room to turn that around in here. And eventually, if we end up having an elevator, this will be our ADA code meeting bathroom for those folks. We're just not quite there yet, but we're working on it. Lastly, we have our kitchenette space, and this is great. It's just sort of an Airbnb kind of element to our venue, that as you're getting ready in the day, you just have some general necessities for food and refreshments, and you are welcome to utilize any of that space while you're here. One thing of note, we do close this second floor once you are announced at the reception. It's definitely key for whoever you've left responsible for the cleanup, that they're not responsible for cleaning up the entire 15,000 square feet of the venue. So it's just sort of something that helps your group out as well as ours to close it out up here once you've sort of moved into the downstairs area. That is the end of the tour. Thank you so much for checking it out. If you have any questions or concerns that weren't answered here, please feel free to reach out to us at thebrightsidedayton@gmail.com.